My wife went mental without a reason, told me I was useless, and made me miss my child's birth. Now she's crawling back to me, but I am never taking her back without a test. My soon-to-be ex-wife and I have wanted kids for years, and we were thrilled when she finally got pregnant last year. From day one, I wanted to be the most supportive husband and future father I could. Her father was never involved in her life. I saw too many problems up close when it came to lacking husbands, and I would be damned before I made the same mistakes. The problem is roughly 4 weeks into her pregnancy, everything started going downhill. She stopped wanting intimacy. Fair enough, hormones and stress make that a problem. I went full stop, but then she didn't want any physical interaction. No cuddling, no kissing, slowly becoming more and more distant. Her eating constantly changed, and she was terrible about it. She would demand I get her something all day, and then the moment I give it to her, she wants something else, screaming at me. She never let me go to any appointments, no groups she went to, and spent more time away. Became cold and bitter. She's always angry at me. This went on for months. She slapped me several times when I forgot one of the dozens of tasks she assigned me during the day. I stopped doing anything for the house a month into the pregnancy. Sure, she's pregnant, I get it, moving around is hard, but she wouldn't even do laundry about 4 weeks in. And by 5 weeks, I did everything. I'm also the primary source of income. I barely sleep. I'm running on fumes. She made me sleep in the guest room. I never once raised my voice, my hand, or my tone. I sat there and constantly mentally reminded myself this wasn't her and that this would all be worth it. She didn't want me to make any baby decisions. No name, no work on the nursery, nothing. 1 month before she delivered, she yelled about how effing useless I was, how I didn't do anything, and that she was staying with her mother. She didn't let me get her anything, come check on her, threatened to divorce me, and get a restraining order if I even called her. A few weeks back, I found out about the birth of my son from a Facebook post. She posted it with her mother and some family. It effing broke me. I tried to go to the hospital and visit. They had security kick me out. After months of outright hatred, anger, and abuse were thrown at me 24/7. I effing had it. Odds are, I'm not even on the birth certificate. I opened a new account, and all my deposits are there. I took half out of our joint account. She never bought baby stuff ahead of time. Who knows what that money was going towards, so now that she has to buy supplies for our son, she's used up every cent. I've gotten a lawyer. The house is mine, and I'm the only one who has spent money on it in any way. I've sent the rest of her stuff to her mother's house. I'm demanding a paternity test. I'm not spending another damn cent until I get verification it's my son. I'm divorcing her. She chose the stay-at-home life. If she cheated, she'd be screwed. Her mother has money for a couple of weeks' stay, but it is not even close to enough for full-time support. If he is my son, I will get my rights as a father for a relationship. Last week, my soon-to-be ex called. She was practically hyperventilating. She wanted to come home. She was crying about how it was all a mistake. She's not staying with her mother. She's at a friend's house. She wants our son to have his father. I told her I don't effing believe he is my son. Why the F would she pull this poop if he is? Show me a paternity test, and I'll do everything I can for him. And him only. She wants to meet tomorrow at a park so I can talk to her. I said sure, so I could finally say everything I should have said months ago to her face. Update: before chatting with her, I spoke to my parents and sister about what was happening. My parents were flustered at me hiding the more unsavory details, to say the least, and are probably going to be checking up on me daily for the rest of the year to make sure I'm okay. My sister would probably have to be held back from thrashing her, so I had to get a friend to help with the chat since my sister could not contain herself. Within hours of the story going into the digital stratosphere, I called my wife back as quickly as possible to finally sit down and talk. We chose a local park this morning, and I had a friend record the conversation from beginning to end. I was ready to hear the generic affair story and get out of Dodge, but, of course, it got complicated. We met at a section with picnic tables and picked one as far away from other people as possible to avoid them getting wrapped up awkwardly. She looked terrible. Haggard was stressed and, thankfully, without the baby. She tried to have a big emotional chat and whatnot. I wasn't tearing up or acting like the hardened badass. Frankly, I just wanted to figure out what this was all for. I didn't even get to ask the question before the floodgates spilled. I will attempt to relay this story as best as I can because even looking back on the recording, it's a mess, but also, it's because I don't 100% believe it. So fair warning, it could all be fake. This all started with her mother. As I said before, my wife's father was absent. He started well, having 2 sons with her mother before her Mel. When her mother got pregnant with her, her father went from being the picture-perfect guy he was at first and slowly changed into a negligent, abusive, unfaithful, and unsupportive jackass, ending with him disappearing when her mother was delivering. He's been in and out of prison since. No one knows why he did it. The impression her mother always gave was that she was a strong, resilient woman who withstood anything life threw at her and did anything for her kids. She has claimed to be in therapy for years. In reality, she has managed to conceal a deep hatred for men outside of her sons, but according to my wife, there was favoritism towards her. My wife also found out she stopped therapy almost a decade ago but never told anyone. Her mother seemed always to have some slight against me, and now I know why. She was never hostile but certainly wasn't warm to me, and hearing about her secret hatred, I knew where this was going. Roughly about half a year before she got pregnant, my mother-in-law slowly began sowing seeds of doubt and bitterness into my wife. She had a complete mental break. She told her about me staying late at work and possibly hiding an affair, or that I am providing the majority of the income, setting her up for a complicated divorce. Everything my mother-in-law's husband did to her, she convinced my wife I would do to her, and she pumped this poison into her for months. My wife always idolized her mother and compounding that with anxiety she suffered from for years, she dove in deep. As soon as she got pregnant, like on the dot, she fell into a mental hole within days, and that's when her mother got hold of her again. Hearing about her pregnancy triggered something fierce in my mother-in-law, and it spiraled from there. She had my wife fully convinced it was happening again. Every single thing my wife did to hurt me was at the behest of my mother-in-law. Combined with pregnancy hormones, an undiagnosed mental illness she claims to have, no confirmation, and stress, she completely lost her mind. She 100% believed I would bail, so she punished me first, culminating in her moving in with her mother and leaving me out of the birth. While I was sending the papers and starting the divorce proceedings, she kicked into full-blown postpartum depression. And when her mother finally got her, when she finally beat me, which I guess was her victory over her ex, did I mention she's effing crazy? She had no more use for my wife. The family involved in the birth included my mother-in-law's sister and my wife's brothers. While my mother-in-law and her sister knew what was happening, my bills got fed the BS narrative my mother-in-law spun. When my mother-in-law was done with her plan, the entire facade came down, and my bills found out everything upon questioning my wife. They were horrified. Postpartum, facing a very grueling divorce on her side, no longer welcome in our home, and having done everything to alienate me from my son at the behest of a broken lunatic, reality hit her like a truck. She torched her entire life because her mother is a broken shell of a human who used her to enact her sense of justice. The very mother who washed her hands of her after she got what she wanted. Or at least this is the story she gave me. Frankly, there are many holes in her story. The starting point of the pattern of abuse, the claims of who was involved in the delivery, me being absent from appointments, the friend, who she confirmed is female, she's staying with, and, of course, my alleged son's paternity. It seems way too effing crazy to be made up. Who would go to the effort to make this up by facing what she's facing? As soon as she finished, she said she was setting up a paternity test and gave me the info I needed. Luckily, it should be done in roughly a week or so once I do my part. She gave the most sincere apologies any human being has ever offered. She's begged for another chance. I was, frankly, too stunned to say anything, so she left and promised to call soon. I don't think I can give her another chance. I don't think I can ever risk anything like this again. God, I'm still hoping she's just being a cheating psycho and spinning a sympathy story to try and throw me off because this got way too complicated.